So our Smile Empowered Woman feature was on hiatus for a bit, but now it's back highlighting women who are dominating their field. So we took the trek to St. Thomas to meet 25-year-old farmer Trudian Ashmead. Watch this.
In the parish of St. Thomas in the quiet community of Springfield, where tomato gardens grow, coffee beans are cultivated, and goats are attended to, lives a passionate young farmer who is about to take us on a journey.
I am Trudian Ashmead and I'm National Farm Queen for 2017. I had to assist my father with tending to the animals on a daily basis. I mean, we had to go tie out the goats, ensure that they got water, especially when they were close to having kids. We had to ensure that we took proper care of them and paid much attention to them. As for the pigs, you know, go out, give them feeding on a daily basis, ensure that the pen was properly cleaned, it was washed, they always had food. Everything that I get involved in, my family has always been that tower of strength for me. They have been there for me day and night. I mean, whatever it is that I tell myself I want to do and I share it with them, they're always willing and ready to support me. As farmers themselves, they actually believe in the agricultural sector, so it is no wonder that they are very supportive of my dreams and going forward to become actively involved in the agricultural sector. We're all very passionate about it, so they have been here with me straight throughout this journey.
In speaking with Trudian, she shares with us some of the benefits as well as the challenges that she sees within the agricultural sector.
I believe that the stereotype that is attached to the agricultural sector really needs to change. I mean, most persons believe that the typical farmer is somebody who is uneducated and doesn't have any other option but to turn to agriculture. And I mean, I'm a living testimony that is not so. We have so many brilliant minds that are in the agricultural sector, and I think that we need to place more focus on the positive things that exist within the sector, and we need to build on that. In addition to that, I believe that there are many avenues out there that would make agriculture better for everyone. I mean, there's financing, there are several programs that have been developed to get young people, to get everybody involved in agriculture. They're not being promoted as much as they should, and I think that is one of the issues that we're having. We need to have agricultural aspects being exposed more. There's agro-processing, there are agro-parks that are being developed to get young people, to get everybody involved, to see that agriculture is a business. It is not a last resort, it's a business, and everybody has a place in the sector. Agriculture is multifaceted. There are so many things that you could go into. What we need to do is encourage persons, do your research, see areas that we don't have much work going on. In Jamaica has a huge import bill, and two of the crops that I see that we're importing that we really shouldn't be importing are Irish potatoes, onions. At the agro park that we have here in St. Thomas, we try to focus on those areas, and we need to encourage persons to do more research, see where we are lacking so far, and try our best to maximize on those areas. And finally, I believe that women are being underrepresented in agriculture. A lot of women are out there and they're putting in the work. I have met some wonderful women on my journey, and when I look at the work that they're doing, I have to sit back and say, wow, like, there really is hope. And they have shown me that agriculture has a lot of benefits. They have earned from it. I mean, it's a living for them. And they embrace it every day. In everything that they do, they embrace agriculture. They're brilliant women and they're willing to go out there and do the work. They have been developing networks to encourage other women to follow suit. And I believe that we need to shed more light on these women. We need to highlight them. Let everybody see that women are actually out there. They're competing with men and they're just as brilliant. They're just as strong. They have the business sense. They have the business ed. They have plans for agriculture.
After sharing with us her vision, the Farm Queen decided to take us to a pig farm where she shared with us some invaluable knowledge.
Here we have two piglets. Clearly we can see that these are mixed pigs, possibly mixed with Duroc and the large whites. The Duroc, you can see them because they have the spots and the brown colors. That's generally what the Duroc looks like. Now, as you can see, they're small. And as it relates to caring for the mother when she's about to go into labor, we have the gestation age for the pigs being 3 months, 3 weeks and 3 days. So it's pretty easy for you to gauge when the mother is about to go into labor. And we have to ensure that we have all our necessary equipment, especially if it's going to be a first time. If the sow is going to have piglets for the first time, we have to ensure that we pay particular attention to her. So when the sow goes into labor, we have to ensure that we have all our equipment and tools ready and in place for action. We have to ensure that she is not left alone, especially if it's her first time having piglets. We have to ensure that someone is always around just in case there are complications, and we have to go in and assist. So after the birth, we have to ensure that we cut the navel string off the piglets, ensure that we clip the tail so that the other piglets don't bite onto it. Also ensure that you clip the eye tooth. Those are the 2 long tooth that usually come out. Ensure that those are clipped so that they don't bite the mother while they're being breastfed. We try to separate the mothers, the larger pigs, from the smaller ones because we don't want them to get stepped on. Ensure that they are dried off properly after they are born, and warm them up with a blanket to ensure that their bodies can adjust to the temperature.
Trudy-Ann is determined to make her mark as this year's National Farm Queen. She explains how this will be achieved.
St. Thomas once recorded the highest level of predial larceny in the country. As a result, I think it will be a part of my mandate to continue promoting NAITS, which is the National Animal Identification and Traceability System. I believe it has a propensity to move Jamaica forward and develop our livestock industry. However, my major focus will be on women and youth in agriculture. I am a gender studies student at the University of the West Indies, and I believe that this is one of the areas that I can actually make an impact in getting the voice of women and young people out there. We have a lot of unattached youth, and I believe that if they get involved in agriculture, there is so much to be had. Jamaica, working in the agricultural field, it doesn't stop here. There are many other avenues, not only here, but outside of Jamaica, for us to explore. And we need to get our young people on that path. See agriculture as the future. I mean, Jamaica has so much to offer when it comes to agriculture. We have the human resource, we have the natural resources. We have everything that we need to make a name and a statement in agriculture. We just need to empower everyone to do their part, and that is what I'm here for. I'm here to empower women and to empower youth to go out there, do it. And one of the things that we're having challenges with as women is that a lot of people don't think that women can be great in agriculture. There are a lot of stereotypes, there are a lot of barriers that are being posed to women, and I think that we need to address these. I mean, for instance, when a woman goes to a financing institution and asks for a loan to do an agricultural venture, persons will be quick to say, why not get a hairdressing loan, or to open a cook shop or something along that line. I mean, we have the passion. Like, don't put us down. Give us a chance to shine and to show Jamaica what we're really made of.
And what's next for this agriculture queen?
On my journey, what I plan to do next is I plan to collaborate with the young women that I met during the course of my Farm Queen competition. They are a phenomenal set of women, and I say this from the bottom of my heart. Like, I love them. They are a wonderful set of young women. They are brilliant. They have brilliant ideas. So what I hope to do is to get some of their ideas to the fore as well, because they have substance. And I need to let Jamaica know that the National Farm Queen competition is not a beauty pageant, and we're not just idle women that go out there and say, oh, I love agriculture. We have a genuine passion for the sector. So I hope to work with my fellow colleagues to get the message out there, to get other young women to want to be a part of the competition. The knowledge that we have gained, it is invaluable, and I want other people to be able to benefit from that. In addition to that, I hope to do a number of empowerment sessions. I have one scheduled for the University of the West Indies on the 28th of August thus far. And I just want to go out there and spread the word about agriculture. It is the future for Jamaica. If we're going to make a mark in sustainable development, I believe it is a very good start, and I just want to spread the word.
Her grace, intelligence, and determination has placed Trudy-Ann Ashmead in the position to be a new voice for agriculture.
I am Trudy-Ann Ashmead, and I am an empowered woman.